the difference when they men are literally awful to women that they're not attracted to. And the difference when they are is literally shocking. I just ran into this waste man who I have not seen in literally 3 to 4 years. The way he treated me when I saw him yesterday versus how he used to treat me when he would see me. I only ever saw this man maybe 3 or 4 times in certain social settings, but every time I did, he made it a point to pretty much act like I didn't exist or make it known that he like really didn't me for whatever reason. Like if the guys were talking about shorties, he would make it a point to say like how he doesn't mess with black girls and then look right at me like the fuck. My last straw really was when we were all hanging out and he asked his homeboy who was dating my friend at the time why she never brings around bad bitches. After that, I told my homegirl, if this is what you're doing, this is who you're hanging out with, like, I'm done. I'm good on this. Like, not only are you colorist, but you and your disconnected beard are testing my Jesus. Fast forward to yesterday, obviously a lot of time has passed and I look very different. Like, I glowed up a little bit. All I see is this man sprinting towards me and yelling a bunch of random shit. Like, oh, I thought I recognized you. You look so good. Ray Tay Tay. All I literally said was, sorry, do I know you? And this man starts recalling how I know him through this mutual friend. I don't know what the hell came over me. The only thing that I could get out of my mouth was, oh, right, you're the guy who doesn't mess with black girls. When I tell you, it got so awkward. And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, Carmen, not the free smoke. But I was like, wait, that really is all I know you from being disrespectful as shit. And people really think you forget how they treated you. But not around here. Not around here, partner. You never had anything nice to say to or about me back then when I looked one way. But now, since I have a little bit of ass and a bust down on, you're acting fanned out in the middle of Yonge and Dundas Square? It's actually sick when you think about it. Like, y'all need to do better.
Hello, ladies. Welcome again to K podcast. So I don't know if you guys have been seeing, Matt Rife. I'm literally people dragging him, the comedian Matt Rife. People dragging him everywhere on social media, and he deserved it. By the way, yes, he definitely deserved the dragging, because the first time I ever saw this guy was when I was still using Facebook. I'm not gonna lie. He was talking about how he looked now. And that was the very first encounter that I had, literally watching Matt Rife was on Facebook. When this guy was talking about how he got the bloom, he didn't always look this good before, and now he looks this good, and all the women wants him now, but he before didn't have this face. I'm like, okay, that was the first encounter, but I was one of those women that were like, you know what, he's talking too much about himself. This is not comedy. I already knew it wasn't comedy. I moved on, never watched this shit anymore. Fast forward till today. Now tell me why people are dragging him on the street of social media. He's getting dragged everywhere. Because why? He decided he wasn't gonna close his mouth, but he was gonna come out here and tell us about his encounter in a restaurant where he, met a woman that had a black eye, and instead of him being consigned like a normal human being, he decided he wasn't gonna be a human being. He decided he wasn't going to show empathy. Instead, he came out and on Netflix and made a joke about her black eye, talking about, oh, you know what, if she could cook, maybe she wouldn't have a black eye. Misogyny. Yeah. So this is the thing. I've heard a lot of things. Even there's some of his footage that I see sometimes and I didn't ask for, when you don't ask for shit and you still get it anyways because the algorithm will not leave you alone. I remember one time he was talking about when he broke up with his girlfriend. I'm going to bring that footage over here, by the way. And he was like, I broke up with my girlfriend and this and that, blah, blah, blah. I did something small. And fast forward to today, I'm like, maybe she didn't want a black eye. Did you think about that? Maybe she didn't want a black eye. So let me bring up that footage over here before we bring out the main footage of the whole thing. What is actually why people are actually dragging him everywhere. on social media street. Let me see. Because this is a guy that, he became famous. He became famous because women were his biggest audience, not because of men. He got the bag. I'm pretty sure he likes women's money, but he likes men attention. And I'm like, you might have to go over there fully and just be, like men and like the money as well. Because, if women are supporting you and you are out here dishing trash to them and expecting them to still support you, well, I'm not one of those chicks, but the ones that are gonna forgive you are gonna forgive you and continue. I never watched it anyways. It just comes up whenever it comes up, the algorithm, Let me just bring it up here.
This might.
Oh, this is him talking about, the breakup he had with his, ex-girlfriend. And I'm like, maybe you was misogynistic. Maybe she saw you for who you were and decided to dip.
I'm actually going through a breakup right now with a girl that I was like, fuck, this might be it.
Yeah, you're still young.
I know, but like, dude, everything was great until it wasn't. Like every single thing about her, I was like, fuck this. Like this could be my wife.
Well, then what was the thing that?
Man, I messed up a little bit.
Yeah.
And
yeah, whenever they say I messed up a little bit, it's mostly not a little bit. It's never a little bit. What did you do? Why you saying a little bit? Tell us what you actually did. Because I'm pretty sure if you said what you actually did, it wouldn't be a little bit.
And then her reaction to that mess up made it 1,000 times worse.
That's really important.
Crazy. I'm gonna just say this. This is how I messed up a little bit, and you are today, nowadays making comedy about women's domestic violence, talking about, and maybe she could cook, and maybe she wouldn't get a black eye. That is very insensitive. So let me bring up the original video of what happened over here.
The hostess who seats you at the restaurant. I've only been to Baltimore one time. I ate lunch there, and the hostess who seats you at the restaurant had a black eye. A full black eye. It wasn't like, what happened? Yeah, it was pretty obvious what happened. And we couldn't get over the fact that we're like, this is the face of the company? Like, this is who you have greeting people? And my boy who I was with was like, yeah, I feel bad for her, man. I feel like they should put her in the kitchen or something where nobody has to see her face, And I was like, yeah, but I feel like if she could cook, she wouldn't have that black eye.
No offense, but I don't think anybody was laughing at that joke. I'm pretty sure that's a laugh track. They have that track, the laughing track. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Because who would in their right mind be laughing at that joke? And why did he think it was okay to make this kind of joke about DV victims? And this is not the only joke that he's made that is very distasteful, by the way. This is not the only joke that he's made that is very distasteful. But I'm going to go back into it.
Testing the water, seeing if y'all are going to be fun or not. Just wanted to see. I figured we start the show with domestic violence. The rest of the show should be pretty smooth sailing after that.
And that's how he started his Netflix special. That's how he started it. Quite embarrassing, isn't it? At the peak of his career. I'm not somebody that believes on cancel culture, because nowadays people be like, cancel him, cancel. And then a lot of people will still go back there and watch the things. It's like, I don't want to hear about canceling anything. Nowadays, I don't want to hear about it unless if you really want to make sure the person learns a lesson, then don't go over there. When you're out here talking about cancel. So this is him blaming a woman again. Let me bring this video over here. There is another footage of him talking terribly about women.
What's going on, Merc? If I hear one more person blame how their life is going on Mercury, I will kill you myself. Do you understand? I am so tired of you ladies blaming your poor decision-making skills on planets.
What did
Wait a minute. That is something that both men and women, do. But he's gonna choose the women to talk bad about. Make it make sense. He's gonna go choose the women to talk bad about. He gotta make fun about what women like. Instead of he's trying to impress his bros at this point. He's not doing comedy anymore. He's just trying to impress his bros.
Astrology girlies do to deserve this? When will they get a break? This reminds me of every other time a man has made a joke out of something just because that thing is mostly enjoyed by women. This is the equivalent of girls be shopping, girls be doing their makeup, girls be spending loads of time doing their hair, or something like with boy bands or Twilight. Like, those things are goofy and you can make fun of them. Most of the time it feels like making fun of them is actually an excuse to make fun of women. Because notice how he specifically says, I'm so tired of you ladies doing XYZ, when there are plenty of us who aren't ladies but still very much identify as astrology girlies. Also, Matt Rife is better than this. He's hot, his crowd interactions are amazing, he's funny. You could write something better than this. I've heard teenage boys make these kinds of jokes.
Astrology is not this magical life guideline that predetermines your future in the stars. Your future is dependent by your own thoughts, opinions, and actions. You are in complete control of how your future turns out. It's not up here. It's in here the whole time. It's up to you.
Sorry, is this a comedy special or a youth pastor giving a sermon? I'm confused. And if
Girl, and the worst part of it is he's just blaming women as if women are the only one participating in all of this. Because, make fun about women. It's funny. It's funny when you make fun about women. And this is the second thing that, video of him being condescending, right off the back towards women. And then you're going to see the next one that I'm about to bring up is worse than this.
astrology isn't real, tell me why last time there was a full moon, I had a complete breakdown and decided to cut my own hair for the first time? The planets. There are so many jokes you can make about astrology and astrology girlies if you know your stuff, if you know the subject that you're talking about. But you don't, because you don't talk to us. You don't talk to astrology girlies. And it's because people, typically men, who don't like and make fun of astrology, they're the ones who are least prone to self-reflection. You should know that not every astrology girlie believes that the planets hold the key to her future and it's a path that's completely laid out for us and we have no control over it. Astrology, for me, is a fun way to get comfortable with the mysteries of the universe, to reconnect with nature, to find a sense of community, and to self-reflect. Let's not forget. When I first found out that I was a Gemini moon, it was like my life made sense for the first time. And most of the men who have mocked me for engaging in astrology, they always want me to read their birth chart. Always. And every time they're afraid, every time there's a little glimmer of fear in their eyes when I start running over their birth chart because they don't want to be confronted with the flaws that they would rather not address. Oh, well, that checks out.
Yeah. Okay. Now, this is the other footage over here of, Matt talking terribly about women. Let me just bring it, because this is not the first. This is not his first rodeo, by the way. This is not his first rodeo. It's just that this one now, he had a bigger platform like Netflix. He had Netflix, so a lot of women had to hear it. He's trying to punch down on the women. If you talk good about women, they might call him, maybe he thinks if he talk good about women, they might call him a simp or something. He probably doesn't want to be a simp. So let me see the joke that he made again. No, not that one. Okay, it seems I can't find it for now. I think it was this. I played this one already. Okay.
Like ruined and betrayed his audience.
Hold on, because I noticed something. If I bring it right off the back, it's not playing from the start.
This isn't the first time that Matt Rife has ruined and betrayed his audience. Everybody's up in arms about his domestic violence joke, but do you guys remember when he went on the podcast and he objectified and sexualized women? And he basically said that the woman that he's with needs to have big, nice titties. And then he went on to body shame women that have big clits by calling them trannies. And that
So imagine that. I don't know the fact that he called women with the big stuff down there trannies. I'm like, have you been sleeping with trans? How did you know? How do you know what tranny stuff look like? Because that's the first question anybody should have asked him. Because I don't think trannies have it down there. Hey, I don't know what it looked like down there. I have never thought about what trannies downstairs look like. But of course, he thought about it. So has he gone down on the tranny? Has he been, interacting with these trannies that he's talking about? Because he seemed to know what trannies downstairs look like.
He didn't want his woman to have a big clitoris because that would make him feel like he's having sex with a tranny. And like when he did that podcast, everybody was like, oh, well, he's a comedian and it's called like dark humor. So the fact that he's joking about like domestic violence isn't really that shocking because he's never respected his female fan base to begin with. He even put it in simple terms. He hates that he's so beautiful because doing comedy is harder for him and that he can't.
Oh please, Bayo, he just, oh my god, I hate that I got some veneers and had my cheekbone down, went under the knife to look so handsome because before my teeth looked like goat teeth. And hey, I'm not the one to call out people yet, but at this point I'm just done with him. My teeth look like one of them goat teeth, and I had to go get me some veneers, and my chin used to not be this sharp, but I went under the knife to get done anyways. So he went, got all the surgery done, and now he crying about he's so handsome. Boy, please.
Help it that all these women just want to juice all over him. Like, this guy has been a tool bag since day one. And this is going to be some shade, but he talks about women being beautiful, women having this, women having that. His mama has none of those qualities. I'm sorry, I'm not going to drag her into it. That was just me being shady. But it's clear that she didn't teach her son how to respect women.
Well, sometimes you might even teach them, and the street is going to teach them on the opposite. See, this is the thing. No, sometimes women do try to teach their kids. I'm not going to say maybe the mother didn't teach him. Sometimes the women do teach them, but the streets teach them that. They teach them another thing. They want to hear from other men. And many of the times they're going to be listening to misogynists. So this lady brought up this video over here of what comedy is supposed to be, even if you're talking about this topic. And this is a great example of how you make people laugh and you do not offend people while, having a stand-up. So let me just bring the video over here.
Reasons. He opens his new Netflix special with a joke about domestic violence.
Hold on, I don't think this is the one I was looking for. Okay.
Violence in this clip of I went to Google and searched comedians talking about domestic violence, and this clip of Eddie Murphy showed up. This is a masterclass on how to take something dark like domestic violence and turn it into something funny. If you hear that laughter, it's real laughter, not a laugh track, because that was actually funny. To be honest, I'm not that easily offended, but it was just something that really rubbed me the wrong way with that Matt Rife joke. And I think the joke just wasn't good in itself, and it was kind of old and played out and not unique. It was like a joke that someone's misogynistic uncle would tell. I think the biggest difference is that in the Eddie Murphy stand-up, he just has this charisma. It feels like a performance. It feels like an act. He has timing. He has inflectuation. But with the Matt Rife special, it just felt like a bro standing on stage shitting on women and telling his other, like trying to fit in with the other bros. For me, it just felt like he doesn't like women.
I mean, he did say he wanted more male fan base because his fan base is mostly made out of women. So he's probably he just wants acceptance from the bros. But this is the thing: the bros are not gonna give you their money. They have other comedians in their circle. Yes, and let's not forget, Matt has apart from the plastic surgery that he got to look better. By the way, he looks good. He looks good. So a lot of men are not gonna take him serious. Let's not forget. A lot of men are not gonna take him serious. They're not gonna, be interested in him. They're gonna be intimidated, but they're not gonna say it. They're intimidated about how he looks, the fact that he looks good. So they're probably not gonna see him as really funny. So he has to go through this really, really, harsh place to try to bring the bros to him. But this is the thing. You might try to bend over for the bros, but the bros are not really gonna care. You don't like not every bro look like you. Not every one of these bros look like you. So a lot of these men might not even want to, go to his shows because of the way he look. Let's just be sincere. They might feel intimidated about his look because he looks good. And they might not see him as funny.
I may be totally wrong, but that's just the way it rubbed me. You can like him if you want. You can adore him. Everyone is entitled to their own taste. I'm not trying to cancel him in the slightest. I was just calling out the fact that I think he's probably going to lose some fans because he went so far away from his female base and was kind of trying to tailor it towards men, even though females are his main fan base.
I hope he get his men base because I don't think they're coming. I don't think they're going to be coming.
Guy and how they should. So Matt Rife is once again trending for all the wrong reasons. He opens his new Netflix special with a joke about domestic violence, talking about a restaurant hostess with a black eye and how they should hide her away in the kitchen, but then saying that, well, if she knew how to cook, she probably wouldn't have the black eye. Hilarious. But more grotesque than this off-color joke is his justification, that his special is for the guys. It's an answer and response to claims that he
Of course, he's doing it for the guys. He wants the guys to interact with him, but the guys don't really like him like that. Let's just call it what it is. He thinks if he becomes misogynistic, that the guys are going to like him. Let me tell you the truth. If he goes down that path, really, he's going to lose both the guys and the girls because the guys were not there in the first place. They might like his joke, but he's not going to get the money that he's getting right now.
He panders to his large female audience. And this highlights the false dichotomy that society teaches men are there only two options. Option one is being a guy's guy, the kind of guy who jokes about domestic violence, that thinks women with black eyes are punchlines and that they belong in the kitchen. Anything else is just pandering. If you consider women's feelings, if you show an ounce of empathy or compassion, you're a simp. A joke, a weak shell of a man who is no man at all. A sellout who will do anything for female attention. And in the coming days, we'll be told countless times it's all just a joke, to lighten up, to not take a stand-up comedian so seriously. That he's just doing it for laughs, and this is not really indicative of the kind of
I don't think DV has anything to do with laugh. You shouldn't be making jokes about people that had gone through that. There is nothing to laugh about. It's not funny. And if you cannot write a good joke, if you want to talk about that topic, like the other video that I showed, don't talk about it. If you think the joke that you're gonna make is gonna be misogynistic and people are not gonna take it well, don't talk about it.
Person that Matt Rife really is. And the kind of person that Matt is the type to post to Instagram, offering to anyone offended by his jokes a link to his official apology. Except that link is actually a link to special needs helmets. It is incredibly telling that misogynists like Matt feel the only way to demonstrate that they are not falling over themselves actively pandering to people is to punch down, and punch down hard. To display the kind of fragile and insecure masculinity I've talked about before, that doesn't define itself by any virtues that are worth emulating, but only by opposing, hatefully so, anything vaguely feminine. And this is what we are teaching young men. That being one of the guys means not just to lack any understanding or tact or nuance, but you must also actively humiliate and degrade others. A man's man is intentionally and deliberately cruel. But if young men are struggling to find their way to being respected, admired, and loved, the male role model suggesting that they need to be cruel to be one of the guys is a surefire way to ensure that those men continue to feel isolated, lonely, and miserable. Why as men are we not outraged at this? Why do we continue to sit back and accept this idea that men like Matt Rife push? That if you want to be a guy's guy, you have to be cruel. Should we not instead demand and demonstrate that kindness and compassion are not pandering? It's being a good person, and that being a good person is incompatible with this misogynistic, ableist bullshit.
Dude, I'm gonna say this. I say let them do it, let them continue. That's why many of them are single right now and crying. Every time a woman posts, I'm an independent woman, yeah, they come on the comment section crying about, oh, but you ain't gonna do anything with your degree. Yeah, but they want to cuss you out and still be the one to be like, but you should be with me. Nope, no. So let me bring up this video over here. Let me see. Is this the one? This is the video before he got his face fixed, by the way. So this is what he normally used to look like.
People are real, all right? They are not playing. And nobody warned me about this. I was at the bus stop waiting for my ride, and one ran up on me and goes, "Excuse me, man, I didn't mean to scare you." I was like, "You just did. That's like the scare you run up. Like, don't do that, you know?" He just says, "Young man, I was just wondering, how old are you?" I was like, "That's really none of your business, you know?" He just went, "God dang right, ain't none of my business."
Okay, first of all, I didn't find that one funny. So I just wanted you guys to see what he looked like before he changed his face. Yep. He went to fix the face. Now he's talking about, oh my God, I'm so handsome and women like to come to my show. They'll only come to my show to watch me. At least you're getting the money. Why are you complaining? You get, if women are just coming to your comedy show because you look good, wouldn't you just shut up and take the money? But of course, you're gonna destroy who's giving you money. Do you think men are gonna give you money unless they're trying to get something out? Well, you're about to pay the price for that, because at least women don't ask you to pay the price for that.
Funny. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's this comedian who was languishing in the stand-up comedy scene for about a decade, until suddenly people noticed his very sharp jawline, and he got a lot of attention and millions of dollars. All I've seen are his crowd work sets. He flirts with women in the audience, and it gets millions of views. Whatever, good for you. I also have a massive audience of women. It's lucrative. But apparently, unlike me, he doesn't like his audience, and he's concerned they're only...
No, he looking for that guys, because the guys didn't pay attention to him when he didn't fix his face. I mean, I kind of get it. Maybe they didn't pay attention to him when he had his formal face. So he decided, well, I'm gonna fix my face so that both men and women can like me. But the thing is, he had more women, because yes, maybe there are women out there that go to watch him just because he looked good. No man is gonna go watch you just because you look good as a man, and especially no straight man is gonna buy a ticket to a concert just because you look good. No, women might do it, but men are not. And instead of him closing his mouth, shutting up, and taking the money, he decided he wanted to be misogynistic because he wants more male fan base, by the way.
Only there to look at him. So he opened his new comedy special with a domestic violence joke, just to let those ladies know, stop giving him money. Now, I think I know where this comes from, because I've done quite a bit of stand-up comedy, and I've gotten to know the people who show up to stand-up comedy. It comes in 3 groups. Number 1, people who love stand-up comedy. It's in their bones. They'll wait for 3 hours just to tell 5 minutes of jokes to a microphone. Number 2, people who have something deeply wrong with them, and they will also wait 3 hours, not to tell jokes, but to scream their grievances into any microphone someone will hand to them. Occasionally, that is very funny. Most of the time, it's just terrifying. And then the last one, white dudes. There are so many if there are 30 people at an open mic, 28 of them are white dudes. Sometimes there's overlap with those other 2 groups. In my case, all 3. But mostly it's just unfunny white dudes who are like the funny guy and their cluster of other white dudes. So they were like, yeah, you gotta do stand-up comedy, man. Make this everybody else's problem. All I wanted to do was not be in those rooms anymore. Those disgusting basements full of white dudes and their boring, banal opinions. So when I got online and found out I had a 76% female audience, I don't like the word female, lady audience, woman audience, I was like, yeah, My ideas have merit. If I walked out onto a stage and most of the room were women, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah, this is gonna be a great show. I mean, granted, your laughs aren't quite as powerful on the tape, but who cares? I'll tell you what won't make the tape better, alienating them from the jump. Now, I've never had to deal with the idea that I'm so attractive that I have to question whether or not people are showing up for the jokes, because I'm keeping my buccal fat and my autism wouldn't allow me to get a chin implant. I don't even like this fake tooth sitting back here. I'm definitely not going to change the shape of my jaw. And I'm not saying he did that, but it's a real precise jawline he suddenly had. If
Yeah,
that is
very
the case,
sharp.
if he did indeed go under the knife to change the shape of his face to improve his career, and then got mad that it worked. Imagine throwing away millions of dollars and fans who like you to cater to unfunny white dudes. Imagine being the thing that your ego is like, I need them to like me. I don't care that millions of women do. I need that dude that sat in the back of the open mic and also made domestic violence jokes to think I'm a real comedian. It used to upset me that people didn't take stand-up comedy seriously as an art form, but stand-up comics are the reason that happens. So we deserve this.
Okay, we're gonna go to the next one because I want to finish this early today. Gotta go to bed. But I just wanted to give you guys my opinion on this. So let me see. Okay, this is about somebody talking about how he cares more about, men instead of his women fan base.
Men care way more about male approval than actual success. So Matt Rife is proof that men care way more about male approval than actual success. So he had plastic surgery, he got his teeth done, he had this glow up, and after a couple of decades of trying, he was finally successful as a comic. He literally got millions for his Netflix special, but his core audience has always been women. And he's like, ick, girls aren't funny. So even though he had the money and the success because it was coming from women, he would much rather tank it in hopes of getting male approval than to actually enjoy it. And obviously he made those disgusting jokes for male approval, but what I don't hear a lot of people talking about is that he got that plastic surgery for male approval too. I mean,
girl, I'm starting to believe that too. But this is the thing. I'm just wondering which straight man would want to go watch a comedy show because another man is handsome. Normally they won't. They'll be like, no. And if you're out there being misogynistic, there are men that are also not going to like you. So at the end of the day, you still get men that didn't like you from the start, and you get a still men that still don't like you. And your female fan, if the fan base is gone, if all those women decide not to watch your stuff anymore, not to go to your concert anymore, then what?
I mean, the logic is there. He's so resentful of his woman audience, it follows he would get plastic surgery for the male gaze. And look at what he focused on, the things that men care about. A sharp jawline. He got his buccal fat removed so his cheekbones are all high. Certain face proportions. All that crap incels are always going on about. And that stuff can be aesthetically pleasing sometimes, but I have never heard one woman say, oh my God, look at his jawline. It's so sharp. He's so hot. But this whole mentality also explains why men think that women are living for the male gaze, because they are. And I've had this theory for the longest time that men care way more about male approval than actual success, because when it comes to things like romance, you see incels following horrible advice just because it comes from other men, rather than easy common sense advice that comes from women. You know, if you want women, I would think it's common sense. Be nice to them. Be kind, listen, treat them like human beings. But they would much rather fail listening to convoluted advice given by men. And it also works the other way around. There are men who are way more successful than a lot of the guys who are hyped up in bro culture. But because those good guys are good family men, they don't want to abuse or denigrate women, they get looked down upon. Who readily comes to mind is Russell Wilson. It's crazy. He makes money. He has the most hyper-masculine job in the world as an NFL player, but men call him soft because he actually...
Yeah, because he's not out here abusing his wife. He's not out here putting hands on his wife. So he's soft. This is the thing. I'm starting to understand the psychology of these men that call men like Russell Wilson soft, or men that actually do take care of their wives soft. I'm going to tell you their psychology. Many of these men are single. Many of them are miserable and single, and they did not get the girl that they actually want. Let me just give you this. They didn't get that girl that they actually really wanted. So now they're just mean and angry. So when they see a man that got the girl that he actually wanted and he treats her right, they want you to mess up your relationship so that you can be in that part of debt with them like a pig. You can join them in the pig swamp. They want you to come back into the swamp because they in there, they don't want to be alone. They don't want to see you happy. So they come out with all of this telling you you're soft, telling you that if you take care of your wife, your girlfriend, or your partner, all of a sudden you're soft. No, they want your life to be as miserable as theirs because they didn't get the girl that they wanted. They didn't get that girl that they really wanted, so now they're mad. They don't know how to go about it. They're jealous, and they want you to destroy your relationship. And if you're stupid enough, you would do that. That is what I'm just going to take. If you're stupid enough, you're just going to do that. And then you're going to find out, yeah, they really didn't. Like, I'm going to tell you something. I had a guy. Let me tell you guys this story. I had a guy that came to me and he said he was dating this girl. He was dating this girl. And his friend was always complaining about the girl, telling him, oh my God, why are you treating her this? Complaining about the girl, her looks, everything, telling him that, the girl is not good looking enough. The girl is not that, this and that. So this stupid guy that I know decided he was going to break up with the girl. That he was going to break up with his girlfriend at the time. Now, I'm going to tell you what happened. You remember the guy that was complaining about the girl? He married right now. He's married for around 5 or 7 years now with that woman. He's married to that girl that he was complaining to him about, telling him that she was not pretty, she was not this, she was not that. He's married to that girl. And the sweetest part of it right now, I looked at him, I felt sorry for him at first, and then I noticed, no, he's just stupid. He wanted to impress his bros. The sweet thing, the guy that was complaining about the girl that is married to the girl now cut off contact with him. They don't have any communication. He cut off everything as if he doesn't know him. As if he doesn't know him. And when he was telling me this, I'm like, why are you telling me this shit? This is sad, but you're stupid. So he told you not to treat her well, and you decided, well, I'm gonna go with the bro code, treat her terribly. She left you. He jumped right on the bus and took her. But that's on you. So let me bring up this video over here. Let me see. Which other video have I not played? Okay, let me see. There was this video of this girl talking about, what happened to her in a relationship and why she was really, really mad.
The ever-living fuck out of me and gave me a black eye so fuck. You know what will never cease to be comical to me is the fact that my ex beat the ever-living fuck out of me and gave me a black eye so fucking profound I almost lost vision in my fucking eye. And when his mom came over after the fact, I caked on fucking concealer so he could be fucking excused from his fucking domestic violence behavior. And she still fucking saw it because of how fucking deep and black it was. And she looked at my black eye and she looked at her son and she said, oh, Ash, And she rolled her eyes and she didn't give a single flying fuck. And here we are making a joke about domestic violence on fucking Netflix. Fuck you, Matt Rife. Here we are making...
This is the thing. You talk about DV, you're going to hurt a lot of people. You're going to hurt a lot of people. A lot of people are going to drag you through the internet. A lot of people are definitely not going to stand with that, especially people that have gone through that. Especially people that have gone through that.
Violence joke, right? And it made me realize that sometimes...
I mean, are we surprised? Like, I just find it funny that every time, like, I can kind of tell where a celebrity's career is going to go and what kind of person they actually are by looking at their fan base. And, like, maybe Matt Rife's fan base is predominantly female or whatever, because I did see a comment on this video that I'm stitching that was a really good point, and one person said that Matt Rife is starting to make misogynistic jokes because he doesn't like the fact that his audience is all female or mostly female. He wants male validation because he's not getting enough from his like fame, and that's a good point. However, I will say that the girls that I've known to be Matt Rife fans, at least on my end, you know, this obviously doesn't have to ring true for everyone, but the girls that I knew that were fans of him, that are fans of him probably still, they were mean girls. They were all assholes. They were pick-me's, if you will. And I'm really not surprised that he's a piece of shit. Like, not only that, like, he looks like a douchebag, you guys. He looks like a piece of shit. Like, I don't know, maybe it's because I've dealt with...
No offense, but the first time I ever saw him on my For You page on Facebook and he was talking about how good looking he is, I was like, yeah, this is going to be a self-absorbed person. He's going to be talking about how good he look. And he was doing that on Facebook, by the way. I was like, ew. This is giving me, it was way too creepy. I was like, no, please. And sometimes when I get information about him, I'm like, no, I'm not following you. I don't follow your comedy. None of that. But you know what? The algorithming. Just been bringing up people that you don't want to see. And then bringing up stories like this that you don't want to hear because you didn't pay attention to people like that in the first place. And yes, the women that do follow him are pick-me's. They some of them do go there just to watch his sharp jawline. Some of them do go there just to watch his sharp jawline. Not like women like us over here that we checking for. But ain't nobody care about your sharp jawline. You and your sharp jawline can go to the other side. Yeah, please.
The worst of the worst people. I've dealt with domestic violence, which is why I'm making this video, because dude, fuck him for doing that, for saying all that. But like, maybe it's because I know how to look at a man and know how he is. When I saw Matt Rife, everybody was like, he's so hot. Dude, he's a piece of shit, and you can tell by looking at him. Like, that was my first thing. I'm like, you guys, this is not going to end well. And look, he's a misogynist. Oh, what a big fucking surprise. Yeah.
Okay, now that's gonna be the last video for today. I'm gonna say this. Thank you all for being here. Let me know what you think about this Matt Rife thing and this whole controversy and the fact that he's sending people links to where, you know, special need helmets are instead of, you know, the apology thing is even not necessary at this point. I don't care about the apology issue. And the thing is, the fact that the apology link leads you to a special need helmet, that guy really doesn't care. And it is funny. Well, I guess all those pick-me's that like to follow him are about to land now. Yeah, he got sharp jaw. Look at him, Mr. Sharp Jaw over here throwing you under the bus. Now, with that being said, I'm going to say this. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, everyone that was here. Do not forget to press that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the commentary section what you think about this whole foolishness. Have a great day and goodbye.